All right, guys, we're back on. Welcome to Vinny's Talk. November the 23rd. And today we are talking about the murder mystery in this Idaho 4 killing. Now, what we do know, and the things that we do know is very little into this case, guys. The law enforcement is not releasing too much information, and this is how an investigation is kind of run, where law enforcement really doesn't release. They don't want to release too much information because they don't want to mess up the process of the investigation, right? But now, let's look at things from the very beginning of this case. We learned that the victims were out partying. They made it home at a certain time at about 1:45, 1:50, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever the case may be. Kaylee and Madison made several calls to someone. They didn't pick up the phone. And about 3:45, around 4 o'clock in the morning, they were all deceased and passed on to a brutally stabbing. Now, these things that happen in the beginning, like how the chief of police and law enforcement said that this is a targeted attack, which makes me to believe that has the neighborhood and everyone in very, just everyone's scared and not very comfortable, especially because at first it seemed like this was a targeted attack, right? But the way time just keeps passing by, and got a lot of people feeling uncomfortable, which may be thinking that this can't be a freaking target attack. Like, what's going on? No one knows nothing. Time keeps going by, and people are getting more worrisome, and it just doesn't seem like it's so much a target attack. But I'm not saying me, but law enforcement's trying to do their diligence and trying to do the right thing and trying to keep everyone calm and investigating this the proper way. Once again, guys, these are just my theories and my opinions, so I just want to throw that out there. But I try to spread factual information, but even though I might speculate sometimes and throw theories out there. But all I'm going to say is that this has the public going kind of crazy in a way, because law enforcement in the beginning said this is a targeted attack, and the more time keeps going on, it doesn't really seem like that this was just so targeted, and now this has the community and students not wanting to come back to the university in Idaho, as the town is just very on edge right now, very uneasy. And you know what? As well as it should be, because there is supposedly a serial killer on their hands. We don't want to say that this is for sure thing, but it just sure as hell seems that way. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about everything that had went down the night of the brutal stabbings and the killings. And there were supposed talks of a stalker that Kaylee had, but this has not been confirmed, nor is it been confirmed by any news source or any close source to the police, or they haven't confirmed it yet. So I'm not sure how that is going to come out. Is it going to be true? Is it factual or not? But we were hearing about that. I heard about it, and I'm not sure what I think about it. Honestly, I feel like maybe it could be true, but like I said, we don't want to say things that are not true, right? So, I mean, it very could well be true. It almost seems like this whole thing, the way that this thing went down, is this person definitely seemed like they kind of had a conscious of where to go, and conscious of they were staking them out, they were watching these girls. And it kind of seems like, could it be a possibility? Could it be probable? Could it be? You got to ask your question. People like to ask a lot of questions, and some of the questions people ask are not very valid, to be honest with you, because it could be it could be that, yes, this person stalked these girls. They wanted these girls, or they had some type of fixation of weird, how serial killers or any killers have that mindset, right? They just have that weird mindset. But I also wanted to say that just because there are two other roommates in the house that survive, and I know a lot of people say that, how can they not hear things? How can they not have heard things? And I totally understand that. But there's been plenty of situations in other cases where killers have gone into homes and done their duties in business, as sad as it sounds, and they walked out. Do I think that the roommates have something to do with it? Probably not. I mean, it's not probable to me. And a lot of people probably, there's some people out there that may disagree, but I definitely do think that at first I was kind of thinking that this might have been a targeted attack towards these students, and none of them deserved it. It's a very tragic thing that happened here, and I also want to say that I just wanted to say my prayers to the students, man, and a moment in silence. To Kaylee, Xana, Madison, Ethan. Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan. And it's crazy, man. To think about this, someone in the magnitude, to have the mindset of this person, and to understand the way that how can someone do this kind of a killing? Because it almost seems like, and again, it goes back to people that would do something like this. And if you look at times in other cases, like the Ted Bundy case, where this dude was just like a crazy son of a bitch, he was just doing nasty things to women and killing them, and it kind of gives you that essence of that, right, with this case. But we have someone that's out there right now that needs to be caught, and I really hope they can get to the bottom of this, guys. My take and my thoughts is just that this is just, to me, it's just like way too, whoever did this doesn't seem like they are like too experienced, I want to say. I definitely do think that they were infatuated with the victims of the tragedy, that they seemed like they might have been following them around, possibly. And that's what law enforcement is saying, that they do have leads, but the law enforcement doesn't want to release too much information. But I feel like they should release some. And I hope they do in the presser. There's a press conference supposed to happen today, and I really hope that they could release some more so people could feel a little bit more safer when they walk out of their houses in, Moscow, Idaho, and all this stuff that's surrounding the media and everything that's going on. And another big question is, to me, a big question to me is that the calls that Madison, rest in peace, Madison, rest in peace, Kaylee, right? But the thing that gets me is that the calls that were made from their phones out to Jack, whoever that person was on the other side of the phone, has it been confirmed yet? Is it speculation? I'm just saying, like, was it them that made these calls out to this person, or was it perhaps the killer that made these phone calls? We don't know. I mean, they're saying, yes, it came from their phone, and about 6 phone calls out to this person's phone number. So we don't really know that. I mean, all we know is that we do know factual evidence of, yes, there was people stabbed. Kaylee and Madison, and Ethan and Xana, we know that they were stabbed. Correct, guys. We know this. This is factual. This is the only really indeed fact stuff that we know. Other things could just be out of, people are just saying these kind of things, and YouTubers like myself were throwing theories together, trying to get and sleuthing to the bottom of this. And yesterday or the day before, they were expanding the crime scene and, you know, putting the tape around the outside of the wooded area, because there's like a kind of forest area in the back there where the house kind of goes down, and then the house goes up. As soon as you get like by the parking lot area, it's more up. So could the killer supposedly maybe dipped out into the back there area of that wooded area? No signs of any evidence of knives, no signs of evidence of anything, tools or anything like that in the back of that area. But we like I said, we don't really know. They're not really releasing too much information, guys. And there's other YouTubers out there and videos that I've watched saying about the timeline and how the timeline's different and all this other stuff, but I just like to follow along with whatever the law enforcement's releasing. I want to believe, but I do believe that you can't believe everything, right? Because if you look at the Kylie Rodney case, and I'm not saying I trust 100% law enforcement, but most law enforcement is correct, right? We have to trust them. But then you're like, on the other side, you're turning your head and you're just like, well, do I really trust? Because sometimes there is law enforcement that just doesn't give us the right information, and not some may agree with me, some may disagree with me, and that's fine. I just like to put my thoughts, my opinions. I'm always gonna be myself, guys. I'm not gonna change my mindset, and I'm not gonna steer anybody in the wrong direction. I'm not gonna say anything to trigger someone on purpose. I'm just trying to be myself here. So some people may not like what I have to say or how I feel towards something, and that's fine. But like I said, whatever is in the dark shall always come to the light. That's why I believe this killer will be caught, will be brought to justice. It might take a while, right? But I believe that Idaho has a big problem on their hands because as far as like the public's sake is, I feel like, I know they want to I can't talk right now. Jeopardize the investigation by releasing too much information, but I feel like we deserve more info on this, especially with the college campus there, right? All these kids, and now they're saying that there's some things that we can't talk about and things that we keep confidential. And I understand that as a firm and as trying to put a puzzle together and solve this. But you got people there, you got kids, you got family members grieving, you have people concerned about their well-being living in a community where there could be this psycho killer. So can you imagine that? I mean, waking up every day thinking about your next day, you know what I'm saying? You're eating breakfast and, you're wondering if this this person's going to come in and do something to you. So no one deserved what these kids deserve, and justice for them, man. Kaylee was a beautiful person. She was, doing positive things in her life. You know what I'm saying? Ethan and Xana were a beautiful couple. They were trying to further their life and enjoy life and in time together. And, Kaylee and Madison were their best of friends. She was going to be going on some type of a Europe trip, hiking across the country and stuff like that. So this person behind this killing seems to either have been, and a lot of people could speculate with this, but I will honestly say that, maybe this person was jealous of them. This could be very true. They could have been jealous of them. This person maybe persons or person or whatever the case may be. Maybe they got into an argument, Who knows? Maybe they didn't even know each other. Maybe this person was just stalking them and seeking them out, and like, you know what, I want this person. She's just like fantasizing. This could be a fantasized killer. This could be some type of a fantasy killer. Like he or she just wants vengeance for some shit, that retaliation. I mean, a lot of people could speculate in the retaliation mindset of things, right? But you can only speculate so much, and you know what I'm saying. Well, you could speculate a lot, but I'm just saying, like, factual evidence versus, you know, speculation evidence. You know, obviously facts is gonna win. We want to find out the truth, and when you have a community uneasy, on edge, when you got, you know what I'm saying, lost lives, and then you have the law enforcement saying that this was a targeted attack, mind you. What evidence supports a targeted attack, though? You know what I mean? Like, they're not confirming that she has a stalker, so it could be true that she still has a stalker. I'm not saying that. I'm the one who actually read about that. I was reading about that. I'm just like, wow, could this be true? It's definitely probable that she could have a stalker. There's a probability of that she could, because of how this case is, right? The person going into the house, the killer going into the house, and how was the door open? Supposedly the door was locked. A lot of people are saying, oh, just because the door is locked, how did the killer get in, and all this other things, but why didn't the killer go into the basement where the other two roommates were? That's what I'm saying. Maybe this killer had his eyes set on one person, but then you kind of go in there and start tossing the juggler around and start saying, okay, but then why did he kill 4 people? Why did he kill 4 people? Why did he kill, you know, the innocence of 4 people? If it was a targeted attack, right? That's like the police say it's a targeted attack, and I'm just going off of what law enforcement is saying. So for me personally, I do feel like in the beginning it seemed like, I mean, we're gonna be going on 10, 11 days now. So I'm not saying I do not trust what they're saying. I'm just saying, and it's a little sketchy to me now. It's starting to get a little bit of, like, I'm getting a little concerned, because I'm not saying it's not, and it's not still targeted. I'm just saying that for me, we're not learning anything about it, how it is targeted, right? We're not learning how things were targeted, and if it was targeted, then show me the evidence, show me what's going on here. But we're not seeing that, guys, and I really hope that maybe we'll learn more things in this press conference or whatever they decide to talk to us about this. But you know, we did learn that there is a new evidence of having more of a crime site, where they expanded the crime site into the back of the house. Now, I'm not know what the significance of that is, but I'm just saying this could be, I mean, you know, sometimes law enforcement doesn't want to release certain information because, like I said, they don't want to impede on investigation. They don't want to ruin the justice for it and mess it all up. That's according to what they say. But for me, I don't believe everything they say, to be honest with you. But I'm like 50-50 with law enforcement. Sometimes I trust them, sometimes I don't. And I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just keeping it real. But yeah, I mean, we're learning. We're trying to figure out and get to the bottom of this, but it's real sketchy, man. We have a supposed crazy, crazed person out there that has not been caught. To law enforcement, it is a targeted attack. But where is the targets, right? We're not seeing this, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is just kind of like Kylie Rodney case. They're ruling shit an accident. They ruled it an accident, but all the evidence didn't provide. I mean, mind you, this is a little different. But I'm just saying, like, speculation of they ruled this an accident, Kylie Rodney, but the evidence claims didn't support that it was an accident. the claim supported that this was more in farther detail than just an accident. Oh, but Vinny, this doesn't support that. Oh, Vinny, this doesn't support that. But you know what? When you're reading and you're learning and you're sleuthing through shit every day and you're trying to recap things in your mind, you're like, wow, man, this shit does not make sense. That don't make sense. And you have so many more questions about that. And then they clear. Now, you go back to the food truck and you see people at the food truck, how they clear this person, how they clear that person. There's a lot of web sleuths out there that'll be like, what happens to the roommates and why aren't they targeted? But if you take a look at it, there wasn't really anything to make them. I mean, in my personal opinion, the two roommates in the beginning kind of seemed a little sketch because they were still alive and they lived through the whole situation without being unharmed and being untouched and being in that home. But I mean, this is completely, to me, it seems like it could be kind of normal because the door was locked. Maybe the killer didn't want to go up in there. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But then you have this other part of your mind where you're just like, I don't know. Maybe they did have something to do with it. Maybe they did have something to do with it. But some people don't want to touch on that because then people are going to look at you like, oh, you're just going down rabbit holes and all this other shit. And this is not factual, but it's okay to put your mind on things. It's okay to be honest with how you feel, and people will try to beat you up for it, but that's not what it is. You have to be yourself, but also try to bring the truth out. Try to be factual with what we're saying. And I mean, you could throw theories out there, and I feel like the more sleuthing we do as YouTube, as all YouTubers, and we bring each other's different information, putting our facts together, putting our stories together, and see what makes sense. You know what I mean? Because not everybody's gonna agree with each other. Not everybody's gonna agree, but we could agree to disagree. And I don't know why, as a nation, we can't do that. But anyways, that's just how I feel about this, about anything in life. So this is what we know about this murder mystery, y'all. And I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? I just want to hop on here for a little bit, guys. And I'll be back. But this is the murder mystery, man. Man, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace to our beloved, students that lost their lives, man. They didn't deserve this, man. This is sickening. And also to think that you have a killer out there that, what I'm saying, we don't know what the hell is going on with this dude or whoever this may be. We need to find, bring him forward and get this justice. Obviously no person being brought forward will bring 100% justice, but he needs to be caught, right? He needs to be caught. But anyways, guys, I'll be back, what I'm saying, with more thoughts, more true crime as we unfold this murder mystery. And rest in peace to all the victims here. Okay, so thank you guys for joining, and until the next time, y'all, peace out, man. Vinny's Talk.